Please go to many different colleges. Seek out the best professors. Seek out the most interesting classes, wherever they are, this state, this country, that country. Hi, I'm Michael Joy. Welcome back to another short shot with Absolute Joy. This is a business story, still focusing on my art school business days, which turned into years, which turned into decades. My opinion about art school, we need an animation of a can of worms exploding on the table, because I'm going to fold things on top of each other. I'm going to say good things, and then I'm going to take them away. I'm going to say shitty things on top of those good things, and then I'm going to erase everything. And you're just going to see me be a bit schizophrenic about art school, because there's things about it that were so critical to where my life is today. And there's other things that were so slow motioning my business life because of art school. Let me frame it from the sense of, I think different types of people are drawn to art school. And I can only speak to how it was when I was there in the early 90s. I don't know how art schools have adjusted since then. It just seemed to me that I was there in the 90s and they were still talking to me like it was the 60s. There's okay, we got a 30-year slush factor here. So maybe they've changed, maybe they haven't. So art school is very expensive to go to. I don't know that the value is worth it, meaning you can come out with some debt. If you have a scholarship, somebody that's going to endow you the art education, I would say go for it. It's fine. But don't go to art school if it's going to put you in debt. I think there's a better way to go to art-like school without taking the debt. First off, I'm in the middle of this with my stepdaughter. She is all about going to college, and I'm on board for that. But how I recommend her going to college, because she's a very talented artist already, and I said, your degree doesn't matter for shit when you get out of art school, because they're going to look at your portfolio. They're going to look at how you are as a professional, how you present yourself, what your work is like. There's a whole different thing that goes on, and it's not the degree. So I say, please go to many different colleges. Seek out the best professors. Seek out the most interesting classes, wherever they are, this state, this country, that country. Wherever we're able to send you, we'll find a way to have that experience to make you stronger, more dynamic, to learn about negotiation, to learn about how to value yourself. But it's not this straight frickin' freight train of a degree. I think colleges are making the mistake of saying you need to have the degree program. I think colleges can be more like, in art category, not medical, not law, not these things, can be a wonderful shopping center of creative opportunity. And when I was at the Art Institute, I think this is what I liked the most about it. I could know diddly squat, and I could go down, take proper safety courses, and I could work in the wood shop. I could know diddly squat, and I could go to the film center and check out a very expensive video camera with minimal instruction. I don't know why they let that happen. But basically, I could go around the art school and try different aspects of different creative forces and see what stuck. That was tremendously valuable. What I had wished for was guidance in each of those things. Basically, they're like, here's a tiger, good luck. Oh, you got to feed the tiger. Oh, you got to train the tiger. All these sorts of things. And I think that what can happen is 4 years in art school goes by like this. And I had experimented with many things. I watched people experiment with many things, but they weren't anchored in anything. They weren't proficient at more than a couple things. So it was this journey of experimentation, and then they spit you out at the end of 4 years, and you're like, do I have shoes on? Did I remember to put on pants? Is it cold out? I don't know. It's very disoriented to come out without a directive of what's after art school. Everybody wanted a loft. Everybody wanted to somehow get paid for their artwork. But the skill sets, the craftsmanship was 90% crap. Everybody could make a piece that they were satisfied with, but they're not going to be the same quality of piece that a client was going to be satisfied with. It wouldn't have been the quality, wouldn't have had the durability. It was pretty much temporary stuff. In art school, I remember being very robustly against this conceptual art stuff that I did not like. And I'm like, how can you not wake up that what you're making is crap? Now, this is me being judgmental, right? I was in college, I was that way. And I remember going to a grad show. Every year when the graduating class, they had this was wonderful. They had this big opening. They rented a warehouse and they'd throw in 100 some students in there, and they would put their thesis project. I was surprised. I'd been to them before and I thought, this is really a great scene. It was exotic and far out looking art people and, hey man, it was cool. But the work was not always great. The people who were really good stood out really, really fast. And I remember I was so bitter at the time. I had a t-shirt, I think we have pictures of this. I had a t-shirt that says, "Wake up and smell the coffee." And I went around and I had my friend photograph me in front of each piece of work that they just weren't getting, because I didn't want to sit there and bitch about someone's work, because the artist was right there. And I thought, hey, I might be a jerk, but I'm not gonna, I had my limits. And so I just stand there quietly, take the picture, move on, take the picture, move on, take the picture, move on. And I had this whole roll of film now, "Wake up and smell the coffee." It's not that I was some connoisseur of art. It's just that I was resistant to the level of what was being accepted as quality work. I was doing the best I could at the time, and it was not quality work. So I'm in the same frying pan, but this is graduate level stuff. You're in debt by now, $150,000. I'm like, how can you think this is gonna spell out for you? I'm like, really? Stop splashing paint. That was Pollock, come on. So I was surprised at how art was being treated within the art community, and it was very insulated. So this led to people trying to figure out, how do I value my art? And I think this is where teachers should have helped students. They should have helped them understand what to sell their work for and how to do that. And that's a very tricky thing. To this day, that's very hard, but I'm going to try to give you some insights about what I think about how to price art. It's really not easy. It's very subjective, but thanks for watching, and I'll make up something in the meantime.